In today's video, we're going to be taking the dump bed off of my 1988 Chevy R30. I have no idea what I'm doing, but we're going to figure it out as we go. It's a cold day in Georgia again. We are in the 40s. It's very windy. We're going to try to figure out how to take this dump bed off. If you've seen my other videos, this dump truck is in very bad shape. It needs a lot of work. The hydraulics leak, the PTO leaks. It needs all new wiring. It needs a new exhaust. Taking this dump bed off is going to help to get to a lot of the stuff that we need to fix. All right, we're going to try to get it started, and I don't even try to start this thing without using starting fluid. 2 days ago, it took me 10 minutes to get this thing to where it would idle. But today, that was like about a minute. We're not exactly sure how we're going to be taking this bed off. We are going to be using his Kubota L39. I think right now I'm going to go ahead and lift the dump bed up, and then we can take a look at it underneath and get a plan together. I can never remember how to do this PTO. He wrote directions on the dash, but they've kind of worn off. All right. I got the bed up. Now this thing's probably low on hydraulic fluid because it leaks, so I think that's about as high as it's going to go right now. There's a pin in there and there's a cotter pin on each side holding it in, so we got to take that out and then we're going to figure it out from there. We got this metal bar in here. Basically, it's going to support the weight up here in the front. It's just a safety measure right now, because when I start taking that pin out, I don't want the hydraulic cylinder to fall down and then this whole thing fall down. Well, just trying to figure out the best way to do this. I obviously don't want to get injured. This could potentially change the rest of my life here if this bed falls down on top of me. So I think now I'm actually going to try to see if I can reach up there from the ground and take the pin out that way. It's wide open under there. There's plenty of space, but it's a long reach.
You only got to pull one side to cut one cotter pin, right?
Oh yeah, well
Whichever way you can knock it out easier, just pull one side out. We'll knock it out the other way.
Yeah. This is the biggest dang cotter pin I've ever seen. I need a face shield.
I got one. You want one?
Yeah, let me put one on. I'm catching dirt to the face. I got some safety glasses, but they ain't doing nothing. About halfway out. Yes! Woo, we got it out. I got the cotter pin out. Let me see if I can knock that big pin out. It'll fall on top of me. Oh yeah, she's coming right out of there. Just make sure.
Hey, what's that? When you knock it all the way out, what's that cylinder gonna drop down? That cylinder's gonna drop down and hit something.
Okay, I got the light off. Hopefully that looks better. So I'm about to pull the pin out. It's actually coming out a little bit easier than I thought it would. But I'm worried about this cylinder. He just made me realize when I pull that pin out, this big hydraulic cylinder is gonna fall down on top of me. So I've got some wood here. I'm gonna put it on this cross member and kind of build it up so it's between the cross member and the cylinder. Well, it's not pretty, but I've got a few pieces of wood here and I've got this clamp. So now when I take the pin out, this hydraulic cylinder, it shouldn't fall down on top of me. I don't think this is how the professionals do it. We got halfway out. Nothing, I'm about to just pop this out, and if it falls, it falls. Oh, that thing is heavy. All right, we got the pin out. It was actually a lot easier than I thought it would be, and it would have been pretty quick if I wasn't trying to film it. I probably could have done it in less than 10 minutes if I wasn't trying to film. I had the face shield on, that goofy face shield, but there was a lot of dust and crud falling all over me. That was probably the worst part. But it was not that difficult to do. And obviously, I think this is a much safer way to do it. What I've got now is on the back of this dump truck, on each side, I've got a cotter pin here. I think you can see that. Got one of those on each side. I'm going to pull that out. Oh, okay, it's another pin, so I did not know that. So I got a pin right here, and then I got one on this side over here. We're going to take that out, and then hopefully we're going to use this Kubota and a chain to lift the bed. Basically, we're going to try to lift the bed up, and I'm just going to drive forward, and then it'll be off. All right, I filmed the other side, and apparently the camera wasn't on, so I'm just going to take that cotter pin out right there, and then we will just drive the pin out. All right, I think now we're going to try to use a chain to lift this thing up, but I'm going to take the tailgate off first. It's pretty heavy. I think anything we can do to lighten this up. And also taking the tailgate off, it'll give us a point underneath the back of the bed there to hook the chain to. I think it'll be good. We'll lighten it up. Let's just take it off and set it to the side. Roll it back. Pick him feet up, man. I'm stepping on the chain, man. These chains are so long that I may have to tighten them up a little bit. He may run out of lift, but we just got to get it a couple inches, just a little bit. If we can get it just a little bit off the frame, I'm going to drive right out from under it. All right, I'm trying to protect my back window, so I got a moving blanket on there. We were gonna put a sheet of plywood or OSB in there. You know, I'm concerned that when he picks this up, it might swing into the cab. But we can't put a piece of wood in there because of all the electrical and the fuel pump lines. I had this dump truck running at first because I wanted to be ready to go. As soon as he lifted it up, I wanted to pull right out from under the dump bed. This thing will just about suffocate you. The fumes coming off this thing are terrible. And we fought with these chains probably 20 or 30 minutes trying to get them positioned right. We tried to get them tight enough to have enough lift. After fighting with these chains for 10 minutes or so, I turned the dump truck off so we would stop breathing in the exhaust. Hopefully we're ready. Let's see if I can start this thing. We are finally ready. We got the chains tightened up and now the thing won't start. It's acting like the battery is dead. I have tested this alternator before and it's putting out amperage. And I know this battery is good because it is from my GMC Sierra. I think it's just this wiring. You know, I'm planning on putting a whole new wiring kit in this truck. Something is just up with the wiring in this thing and it drains the battery. You only get maybe 3 or 4 starts out of it, and the battery's no good. So that's where we're at, waiting on this thing. We're going to try to charge it for 10 or 15 minutes. Now let's hope I don't stall this thing when I try to take off. All right, we got it off. He tried to set it down on these sawhorses, and maybe they're too old. Maybe that's too heavy. It looked like it was gonna fall over on those. We're trying to drive it around to the other side of his building so it's out of the driveway and out of the way. And then he's gonna be doing some work to it, doing some welding. We're gonna add a tarp, like a rolling tarp, to the top of it. We're not sure that this Kubota L39 is going to be able to carry it around there. No, the front end's coming off the ground, so that's not going to happen. We had to reposition the Kubota, so this is a lot better. He couldn't carry it on the backhoe, but I think he can carry it this way. I'm gonna sit this dump bed down on some blocks. It's already pretty rusted underneath the bottom, but I don't want it to sit in the mud and get worse. We got this thing sitting on some concrete blocks now to keep it up out of the mud. We'll be working on this thing, trying to clean up some of the rust off of it, replacing the mud flaps. Gonna be replacing all this, whatever this ugliness is. That piece is important, I think, to keep the back window protected, but probably gonna cut all this off and make it look nicer, like put some kind of mesh on there. Got this bar in here right now just to hold the cylinder up. This thing looks a lot different without a dump bed on it. I've got some really good access now to get to everything. I can work on the wiring. I can fix all the hydraulic leaks. Replace the exhaust. Need to put some new shocks on here too. Need to check out the rear end. The axle seals are leaking. My brother's going to start working on putting a tow hitch on here. This truck is really fun to drive now without having that weight of that dump bed on there. I really like this 4-speed. I just wish it was more dependable. I'm scared I'm going to stall it out somewhere and it's not going to restart. The battery's not charging correctly. There's something going on with the wiring, but we're going to get to that in some coming videos here in the future. We got a lot of projects we're going to be working on this thing. That's going to be it for this video and the work today. It's almost 3 o'clock and I haven't even eaten lunch yet. If you made it this far in my video, thank you for watching.